Welcome to another video. Today's topic is 7 basic rules of power and roots. So rule number 1, multiplying numbers with powers is basically adding powers. Okay, so if you have 3 squared times 3 7, you add the powers, so 3 squared, so 3 to the power of 2 plus 7, which will give you 3 to the power of 9. Very simple. Again, so 10 to the power of 11 times 10 to the power of 5. So you simply add the powers and the answer will be 10 to the power of 16. X to the power of 4 times x to the power of 7. Add the powers, so that will be x 4 plus 7, which is x to the power of 11. Same here, y to the power of 8 bracket y. So this will be y8 times y to the power of 1. So a number or letter without a power is basically 1, but it's just hidden. So you add 8 plus 1, y to the power of 8 plus 1, which will give you y to the power of 9. Rule number 2, dividing equals subtracting powers. Okay, so it's the opposite of multiplication. Okay, it's the complete opposite. So in here you subtract. Okay, basically, so 7 to the power of 4 divided by 7 squared, so 7 to the power of 4, so 7 to the power of 4 minus 2. The answer will be 7 to the power of 2, which is 49. 10 to the power of 11 over 10 to the power of 4. In other words, it's 10 to the power of 11 divided by 10 to the power of 4, which is 10 to the power of 11 minus 4, which is 10 to the power of 7. X over 70, x to the power of 70 over x to the power of 50. You just subtract the numbers and boom, easy. X to the power of 4 over x to the power of 7. This one's slightly trickier, okay? Just break it down. 8 to the power of 4, x to the power of 4 divided by x to the power of 7. That would give you x to the power of 4 minus 7, which will give you x to the power of minus 3. Yep, minus, because 4 minus 7 is minus 3. Rule number 3, raising a power to another equals multiplying. Okay, so if you have a power to the power of something, you just times the powers. Okay, so in this scenario, okay, you have a to a cubed all to the power of 4. So what you do is you times the powers. Okay, so then it becomes a to the power of 12. Same in this situation, a to the power of 8, and then that is to the power of 2, so you just multiply by 2, which will give you 8 to the power of 16. X to the power of minus 2 all to the power of 11. You just do simple multiplication, so x minus 2 times 11, which is x to the power of minus 22. It might look a bit complicated, but it's really simple. Imagine there's a little 2 here, there's a little 1, sorry, over the 2, because 2 to the power of 1 is 2, but the 1 doesn't show because it's no point. So you do 4 times 1 and 4 times 3. Okay, so 2 to the power of 1 times 4 times 5 to the power of 3 times 4. You do it for both, okay, because there's 2. Alright, and then this will give you 2 to the power of 4 times 5 to the power of 12. And you can put it back into brackets if you want. 2 to the power of 4, 5 to the power of 12. Easy. Rule number 4, x to the power of 1 is itself. So any number to the power of 1 is itself. It's really that simple. Okay, so 4 to the power of 1 is 4. 7, which is 7 to the power of 1. Like I said before. Okay, you just don't see it. You don't write it down because you know it means to the power of 1. So 7 to the power of 1 times 7 to the power of 5. You just add the powers, and that will give you 7 to the power of 6. X over x to the power of 3 is like saying x to the power of 1 over x to the power of 3. You just subtract So x to the power of 1 minus 3, which is x to the power of minus 2. 8,000 to the power of 1 is 8,000. Any number to the power of 1 is the number without the power. Okay, you basically don't need to write this down. Rule number 5. X to the power of 0 is 1. I think this is the simplest rule we have in this video. Okay, so any number to the power of 0 is always 1. Rule number 6. 1 to the power of x is itself. So 1 to the power of anything, so 1 to the power of 2, or 1 to the power of 3, or 1 to the power of 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. is always to the power, is always 1, sorry. Okay, because however many times you times 1 by itself, it's always 1. Same thing if you have 0 to the power of anything as well. It will always be 0. Last but not least, rule 7. Final rule. So fractions. Okay, this is the trickiest one out of the other 6. So whenever you have fractions, okay, and you have a power to the whole fraction, you apply the power to the top and the bottom, so the numerator and the denominator. So here in this case, this becomes 4 squared over 5 squared. Okay, remember there's an imaginary 1, so you just times 1 times 2, which is 2, and then 1 times 2, which is 2 again. So this is 16 over 25. Here, same thing, there's an imaginary 1, so you just do 1 times 3 and then 1 times 3 again. So that becomes 10 over 3 and 11 over 3, which is 1000 over 11 over 3. And okay, for this question, you just convert the mixed number into an improper fraction. Okay, don't confuse yourself, just do that. Okay, so this converted into an improper fraction, you do 3 times 1, which is 3, and then you add 2. So 5, 3 times 1 plus 2, 5, and then over 3, all to the power of 3. If you haven't watched my video where I convert improper fractions to mixed fractions, go watch that. I'll put the link in the description. So 5 over 3, all to the power of 3. You do exactly like the previous questions, and you just multiply the powers. So 5 over 3, 5 to the power of 3 over 3 to the power of 3. For this one, it's easy. Okay, don't get intimidated by this power. Just multiply it like we did before. Use the same method. So 4 times 3 and then 4 times 1. So x to the power of 12, 4 times 3, over y to the power of 4, 4 times 1. 7 rules, just know them. I mean, if you do enough algebra, then you'll know these off by heart forever. Okay, and yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.